She's coming out now.
When we came to see you, you said that you should be added on the shirt for a ghost face. Why do you think that Sam should be a ghost face?
Because she already killed someone dressed as Ghostface, and because she's badass, and she's got already a few kills under her belt. She's the daughter of the OG Ghostface. So I think I would understand why people are like, no, she's not like a mastermind of, kills, so that's not a ghost face. But if you're making like a poster of ghost faces, I feel like Sam could be on there, could not. But it's like it's one of those, like, for some people she would be and for some people she wouldn't, I think. For me, yes.
Okay, right here in the middle. Yes.
So, I remember when growing up as a kid, there's one specific horror movie that comes to mind that like just traumatized me. Is there a horror movie that you saw before you were like old enough to watch a horror movie that like stuck with you, traumatized you, and you look back at it and you're like, fuck, that still fucks me up to this day?
Chucky.
Yeah, same. Literally same. Yeah.
Never, and Final Destination.
Yeah.
I was, my uncle really loved fucking with his nephews. So he showed me those both back to back, and I was so scared of elevators. Whatever the Final Destination was, where there's like a hook in an elevator. Okay, you guys know. That one.
The one with the logs on the
Yeah. If I see a truck with logs on them, I'm out. I'm taking the first exit.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
To this day, I've seen scenes from it, but I have not seen The Exorcist out of abject terror. Like, I just know that I will not be able to get that out of my head, and yeah, so that one, it haunts me, even though I haven't seen it, it haunts me. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. It's all the way in the back there. Okay, so the question was, is there a book that any of them would like to see adapted into a film?
Is it horror? Only horror book? No, anything. Okay, cool. I mean, I'm working on a few.
Nice. All right.
I don't want to say it until it's real, because in this industry, things aren't real until they're real. And it means until it's done, until it's completed.
I tried to, I failed, whatever. But there's this book called 3 Days of Happiness, which is an incredible book about this guy who sells his lifespan. And his lifespan is worth like $3,000 because he's kind of done nothing with his life. It's really sad and tragic, but it becomes hopeful and beautiful, and it's a lovely book from this Japanese writer. I would love to do that. I think other people are making it, and I tried. They went, yeah, not you. There you go, an answer.
Yeah, you have to keep that stuff under lock and key, unfortunately, because whoops. Yeah, as Melissa said, like there's also like energy around it that you want to kind of holster, and so keeping my mouth shut. It's more complicated than you would think to actually get, because when you find a book, you have to make sure that then the rights are available, and if the property is hot, then like there's multiple people that are interested, and it'll probably go to the most famous company or production company that has the most money. And if you're lucky enough to get it, then you have the rights for a limited amount of time, and then you have to find a writer who can adapt it. Adapting a book to TV or film is so hard. People are never gonna be happy, it's because books are just you get so much more real estate.
I feel like you just have to kill your darlings.
Yeah.
You just gotta kill them and be like, you're gonna be mad.
Yeah.
But it's, you had mentioned The Shining. When The Shining came out, all the Stephen King book lovers hated it.
Yeah.
because it changed so much. But I mean, now we look back on it, and you know, it's one of the most classic horror films in the.
Isn't it so sad though? That makes me sad when like something comes out and it gets hated on and trashed, and then because of that, something like the reach of it gets like dampened,
limited, yeah.
and then 50 years later, it's like, oh, it was genius, but then it's like, but that person didn't make 5 cents in their lifetime.
Yeah.
You know?
John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah.
When that came out, that bombed.
Yeah.
And that was a film that when I used to have parties at my house when it first came out on VHS, I was one of the people that was the first friend of our group that had a VHS. We used to have like parties at my house on Friday and watch The Thing, and it became what it is now. But you know, to your point, like when The Shining came out and it got such heavy criticism, you know, it's a shame that people just can't be a little bit more open-minded and say, yeah, you know, the book didn't change. It's still on the shelf. The words are still the same.
Yeah.
This is something different, you know.
That's why it's an adaptation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just gotta kind of be fearless.
Yeah.
And there was no one more fearless than Kubrick, so you just said, fuck it.
Yeah. Okay, right here. Yes. Right here.
What do you all think it is about the Scream franchise that keeps people coming back to watch it, even when there's sometimes 10 years between installments?
So the question is, what do the stars think that keeps bringing the fans back to the Scream franchise?
I think there was magic to Wes Craven. Like I genuinely think. And I'm so sad that I never got to meet him. But from what I've spoken to Courtney extensively about him, and she always just says of like what a wonderful, loving human being he was, and what a genius he was, and how far ahead of his time he was. And so I think he conjured up this thing with this great script, this great cast, and it was, I think, also what do you call it? Like the perfect alignment of the time that the movie came out in, that people were ready for that and receptive, and I think that he just planted that seed and created this fandom. And I think the fandom is so loyal to the franchise that they keep it alive to this day. But I think it's all because of him.
The right film at the right time, you know.
I remember when the first Scream, I was a young actor coming up, and it was the hottest script, and everybody wanted to be in that movie so badly. And I just remember like reading that script and being like, oh my gosh, this is the most, I've never read anything like this before. It's funny and terrifying at the exact same time. Like, how is he pulling off this tone? And I think people love that too. I think they love laughing and being terrified all at once. You know, I think that's keeps people coming back for more.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we have time for one last question. So who's brave enough to close out with the final question? Melissa, you pick.
No, I can't do that. I
No?
don't like that.
Okay. All right, let's see. Let's go over here. Yes.
Who's your favorite final girl?
The question is, who's your favorite final girl?
Of all time.
Of the Scream franchise or final girl from any franchise? Okay, so that opens it up. Final girl from any of the horror franchises.
I don't
Jamie Lee Curtis.
The joke answer is Samara Weaving, because I got her. If not, maybe this lady right over here.
franchise, but there's a French movie called Revenge. And when I saw that movie, I was like, this is nuts, and I want to play that role. Like, I just thought it was so cool. If you guys haven't seen it, go watch it. It's insane, and it's just like an epic female final girl. Yeah.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please let's have a big round of applause for Tony Revolori, Melissa Barrera, and Marley Shelton, Spring Stars. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone. That's everything. Appreciate it.
Oh my god, welcome.